Prisoner of Azkaban, Shrek 2, Saw Hellboy, Team America, Harold and Kumar, National Treasure, The Village Collateral, The Bourne Supremacy, Alien vs Predator, Kill Bill 2, The Punisher, Blade Trinity, Catwoman, Mean Girls, The Machinist, Trashers 12, Chronicles of Riddick, The Aviator, $1 million baby, The Taxi, SpongeBob, Dodgeball, Anchorman, ScoobyDoo, Napoleon Dynamite, Incredibles, Notebook, First Days, Shaun of the Dead, and Shark Tale.
Yes, that's right. We're talking about the best movies of 2004. A very good year for me personally. Turned 4 years old.
Me too.
To be fair, that was the year I met you, I think.
Was it? Probably was around.
It would have been
2003 or 4.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now that I think about it, pretty
iconic.
shit year. Pretty shitty year.
Shitty.
Good year for movies though.
Well, yeah. So
Especially when one of the greatest movies of all time was released.
you have said a lot of times in these lists that you have favourite movies of, like, every movie's your favourite movie of all time.
Yeah.
This is going to be this list for me. 2004. I said 1994 was my favourite year of movies, but you know, I change my opinion every 5 seconds, and at the moment, 2004 is my favourite year.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think it has the best movies compared to other years, but for me, like, I grew up with a lot of these
The
movies.
emotional connection to it.
That is 100% correct. And should we get started?
We'll start with the movie with the most emotional connection of all time.
Spider-Man 2. The
The greatest Spider-Man movie of all time.
Yeah.
One of the best Marvel movies of all time.
One of the best superhero movies of all time.
One of the best superhero movies of all time.
And one of my favourite movies.
It's one of the best movies of all time.
We got Tobey Maguire, who I love, my favourite Spider-Man, not just because I grew up with him. I generally genuinely think he is the best Spider-Man.
Yeah. Depending
And
on what you're looking for, but I think overall, I think he is.
we got James Franco again, Harry Osborn, real good. I always just forget James Franco was in Spider-Man 2.
Because he's nothing like what he is now.
Yeah, it's such a because this is probably one of his earlier roles, and he's always in comedies.
Being a stoner.
And it's but yeah, we got real good acting in these movies.
J. Jonah,
J.K. Simmons, Whiplash, had to be brought back for Far From Home because he was just too good. You really can't replace him. That's perfect casting. We got a bunch of random side characters like Mr. Dickovich, who he's got to pay the rent to.
Yeah.
Who did shit like this is why I love this movie. There's just side characters who are so memorable, even though they're in it for about 30 seconds. But
mainly being Joey Diaz.
Yeah, Joey Diaz he's got one line in the movie. But we got Mr. Aziz.
Oh, cheese with wings, I'll go fuck your mother.
Is that a Joe Rogan laugh?
Something like that.
We got who was I saying? Mr. Aziz, who is Peter Parker's boss at the pizza. Joe's 29. I can't remember the line, but just who are these guys? Like, there's random as people. But
doesn't matter who they are. They've left a lasting impression on us.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're still talking about them 15 years later.
And the memes that have come from this movie have made it even better now. Like the prequels, except this is actually a really good movie. Great. We got Doc Ock. Doc
probably
Octopus.
The best Spider-Man villain.
Yeah, I reckon. One of the most popular movies of the year, and one of the most popular movies still, I'd say, in the superhero genre.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of popular movies in a franchise, one of my favourite, if not my favourite movie of all time, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yes.
I love the Harry Potter franchise. Grew up with it, have a lot of... Yeah, you don't, but...
I don't hate it, but I just never really got into it.
I can understand. I think that's the same with any franchise. Like, not everyone...
Mamma Mia to me is...
Mamma Mia is your God franchise. Harry Potter is my God franchise.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Prisoner of Azkaban is my God movie. This was the second highest grossing movie of the year, just behind a movie we'll talk about in a minute. But, yeah, We got a bunch of new additions here. This movie really took a dark tone compared to the first two, which were a bit more kid-friendly, and this was really where it became more serious. We got the Marauders map, which is... I mean, every Harry Potter movie is something I wanted, but the map where you could just see all the secret passages and where everyone was... I wish I could have one of those.
Because you're a perv.
Yeah.
And you want to see where everyone is.
And we got main new characters like Sirius Black and Remus Lupin, who transform into animals, which was cool.
Very cool.
I love this movie.
Yeah, like, I don't hate this movie. I've seen it once or twice, probably at your house more than anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this might like. Is easily in my top. I'd say top 5 movies of all time. I don't even know why. I just love it. I find it so entertaining. And yeah, fucking great shit. I mean, and then now we've got Fantastic Beasts, which I haven't even seen because I have heard they're kind of average. J.K. Rowling's kind of ruining Harry Potter by making everyone gay. Yeah. And just fuck off, J.K. Anything to add about Harry Potter or?
No, not really. I mean, like I said in a bit of a practice run, if I was going to watch any Harry Potter movie, it would be Prisoner of Azkaban, just because that's probably the one I've seen the most, mainly because of you.
This movie feels different than every other Harry Potter to me. Like, all the other ones feel like, if I was to compare it to Marvel, like how they all have like the same kind of feel, how they're all kind of the same movie.
Yeah.
And
this one stands out.
Harry Potter is a bit like that, I find, but this one just stands out as more of a real movie.
Yeah.
And just everything about it I love.
I mean, speaking of real movies...
Expecto Patronum!
Speaking of real
Expecto
movies...
Patronum!
Speaking of real movies, we move on to quite possibly the greatest actor of all time.
Yep, I'd agree.
The greatest TV host of all time. And is it Whoopi Goldberg? No, it's not Whoopi Goldberg. It's quite the same thing. We're talking
yeah.
Taxi with Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. Let's just talk about Jimmy Fallon first. How's he... So he started on SNL. He started doing stand-up comedy.
Yep.
And then...
If you haven't, take the time to go and watch his audition, because it's very good.
He started off good on SNL and then pretty much just became a joke. Like, he'd just laugh at everything and just...
But that was kind of his shtick. Shtick.
And then, in between, he, like, started transitioning into movies at the end of his SNL career. And then from there, he somehow became...
Got the Late Late Show.
How did Jimmy Fallon get the late...
Jimmy Fallon is the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
He literally is. Tell us a bit about this movie.
Okay. Taxi. I watched this and wrote down some shit about it if I can find it. Hold on a second. Everything's not in order. Everything.
I mean, how old would Jimmy Fallon be in 2004? Because what year was he born?
Oh, he'd have been about...
He's like 42.
Late 20s, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Something like that. So I had no idea what Taxi was about when I was watching it. I thought...
He might be 30. Because I think he might have been 20 in 1994. Or 1995, sorry. So he might be 31.
Yeah.
Or no, 29. Something like that.
I mean, whatever it is.
He's in his mid to late 20s.
I'd watched parts of this movie on TV before, and this was before I knew who Jimmy Fallon was. Though.
Yeah.
I just remember when I was younger. And I watched this movie not really remembering anything or knowing what to expect. And I watched about probably the first hour of this movie, and then I just had to have a little break because it's so insane. But I actually enjoyed it so much. So, Queen Latifah is a taxi driver, but she doesn't start off as a taxi driver. She's like...
Robert De Niro.
I don't know. She's like a delivery person on a bike, you know?
Like Peter Parker.
Yeah, some shit like that. I don't really know. It starts off, like, the opening credits, she is on a bike, and it's like Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, she's doing jumps off bridges onto trucks and doing tricks. And I'm like, I thought it was Jimmy Fallon, because she's got, like, a helmet on and shit, and you can't see who it is. And it was Queen Latifah. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, she is just defying all physics and any sense of realism that this movie could have had.
Yeah.
And that was just a great way to open the movie. And then... You aren't ready for this, but Joey Diaz is
Again.
in this movie.
Again.
Joey Diaz is in Taxi. I was blown away.
He literally is the Brian Callen of 2004.
Yeah, Joey Diaz makes
actually.
another 2-second appearance. I mean, maybe he was on it later on once I stopped watching, but he was at the start of this movie, and I cracked up. It was so...
Did he have any lines?
Yeah, he was like her boss at the start. So, and then she's... I don't know. See, I don't know what she's doing at the start. Maybe I probably wasn't paying enough attention.
We might do an in-depth review.
Yeah,
we
we'll
might
have
go and
to.
rewatch this and do an in-depth review.
So she becomes a taxi driver. And,
As you do.
But she's got her own taxi. She's got her own special taxi. And it's like an Inspector Gadget car. Like, it transforms into like a street racing car. So when she's like driving people, she's literally going like 200 Ks. Fucking zooming through the streets and shit. Oh, it's like a transformer. It's so funny. And then the first time we see Jimmy Fallon, because he's a cop in this movie.
Of course
like
he
a
is.
detective undercover. The first time we see him in this movie, I guess he's doing like undercover on a drug deal or something, and it's like Jonah Hill in 22 Jump Street where he's dressed up as like a fucking Mexican gangster. Jimmy Fallon walks out of this bus like he's fucking Al Pacino and Scarface, like a Cuban drug lord. He's saying he's from Cuba and doing this accent, and he's got like a fake moustache and his hair tied back, it's the funny. That was what I needed. This is what I need this movie to be. I need to watch the whole thing. But I wrote a standout scene that was one of my favourites was Jimmy Fallon. Basically, he's so bad at his job and he can't drive a car. He can't
As
drive.
the late Tonight Show host, or just in general in the movie.
I mean, maybe. I don't. Maybe he can't drive in real life either. But in Taxi, he's basically so bad at driving, like he crashes all the time. He gets his license taken off him, so he needs Queen Latifah, who has the taxi, to take him around to all his fucking investigations and shit like that. And that's where you get kind of like a buddy cop thing going on. But one of my favourite scenes of the movie is Jimmy Fallon. He's just had his license taken away. He runs out onto the street to like pull over a car, pulls out his badge. All these cars just go crashing into each other and just go flying all around. And it was so over the top and hilarious.
A typical old school, like...
It's like your typical early 2000s movie.
movie.
But it was so funny, and it's made it even better because it's Jimmy Fallon, and when he pretends he's a Cuban drug lord, I loved every second of it. That was probably just because, he could do an impression that they wanted to put in the movie.
Yeah.
I guess that's what he's known for,
Did we use Cuban drug lord to transition to our next movie? Shrek 2.
Shrek 2, full of a lot of...
Cuban drug lords.
I mean, you could say the fairy godmother's a drug lord. She sells potions that do a bunch of different shit. You could make that connection.
And Prince Charming is very Cuban.
Yeah, I mean, his blonde, long hair and English accent give it away.
Obviously looks like Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah.
But
Shrek 2, I love Shrek 2.
Yes.
I fucking love Shrek 2. Easily my favourite non-Pixar movie. I watched it again recently as well, and just even still today. Because there's a lot of movies you watch when you're younger that you like, and then you get older, and they're not good. But Shrek 2...
I could watch the ending to this movie on repeat.
The ending, that's what I was going to say.
Where have all the good men gone?
Yeah.
It's so good.
The fairy godmother doing the whole I need a hero sequence is
Late
phenomenal.
Night, I toss and I turn and I dream.
That is one of the best endings to a movie.
Definitely.
It's so fucking good.
And then the twist at the end. Handsome Shrek comes in and it's just so
saves
good.
the day.
So good.
I love it.
My favourite Shrek.
Oh, easily. This is a sequel that is superior to the original in my opinion, and easily the best non-Pixar movie, and I'd say better than most Pixar movies as well. Like, for me, I just have a real deep personal connection to Shrek 2. I've always liked it over the original.
Just so many great scenes, like the dinner table one where all the... Like, it just cuts between all the shots of, like, the different foods and stuff like that.
And they start having, like, the food fight. kind of... are we there yet?
Yeah.
This movie just has so many funny and memorable things. They just appeal to
Funky Town.
Yeah, appeal to all ages, and I like it because with DreamWorks they have a lot of references to like real life, like the songs and like pop culture references, and like Disney Pixar, they're kind of in their own fantasy world. They don't have any of that. So I think that means like DreamWorks can have a lot more jokes and shit, especially that appeal to the older audience. Like adults can you know, there's a few in there that
Would
especially
sweat
with
past as a kid.
handsome Shrek, he's got a few women around him. You know,
when he wakes up.
make that, you know, what you will. Puss in Boots was brought in this movie. Who's
Obviously got his own movie.
Yeah, I've never seen the Puss in Boots movie though.
Neither have I.
I think it is good though. Like, I don't think it's bad.
Wow.
But Puss in Boots is a real cool character. Shrek 3 that I don't like.
No, not as much
Shrek
as the
4
first two.
I don't like either, but I think it is slightly better than Shrek 3. But I'd really just only ever watch Shrek 1 and 2, with Shrek 2 being my favourite.
Definitely.
Highest grossing movie of the year. I mean...
Is it?
Yeah, Shrek 2.
Good on.
919 million. I think it was the second highest grossing movie ever at the time.
Had
just
a
behind
dope...
Titanic.
Had a dope... This is the post-credit scene, wasn't it? Where it was...
American Idol?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Simon Cowell animated. Yeah. Oh, yes.
What a great... This is just such a good movie, all round.
It's got everything you need to love it. Anything else?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
I just love Shrek 2.
Yeah, I'm going to go home and rewatch it tonight.
Yeah, I could rewatch it a million times.
Yeah.
Um,
Speaking of rewatching, I feel like that's just our transition to everything. Speaking of... Even if it doesn't relate. We just use it every time. It's just, speaking of... Blah, blah,
Shrek
blah.
2, the Cuban drug lord.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
no, we move on to the SpongeBob movie. The first one, obviously.
Again, I love the SpongeBob movie.
There's just so many great elements of this. I think there's something just so good about a movie going from a TV show going into a movie. You obviously got like Simpsons, South Park, like the Family Guy, Star Wars stuff. Like, it's just so good.
A lot like Shrek 2, SpongeBob, I think, can appeal to everyone. Like, obviously, there's a lot of kid humour, but my favourite scene of the movie, and to me the most memorable scene, is when SpongeBob doesn't get the promotion that he wants and he goes to, what is it called? Goofy Goobers. And him and Patrick are getting drunk off the... Like, if you're a kid, you don't really understand it, but they're ordering ice cream after ice cream and obviously, like, getting, like,
and then
drunk.
wake up hungover as
Yeah,
fuck.
and it's one of the funniest scenes I've... Like, ever in a movie to me. Ever in a movie.
One of the greatest songs of all time as well at the end. I'm a goofy goober!
Yeah, this movie is fucking great. We got David Hasselhoff as the lifeguard on the beach.
Squeezed between his tits.
Oh,
Such an emotional scene
rewatch
as well.
this.
When they dry out and then the
that's
teardrop.
sad. That is fucking sad. Oh, but I really love this movie,
so good. When they go into the bar and they do the soap.
I was
and blow the
literally
bubbles.
about to say that.
This movie is so good.
Who blew that bubble? And then the...
And then, obviously, who was it? Was it... was Scarlett Johansson? Did she voice the mermaid?
She was the mermaid princess.
Yeah, King
that
Neptune's
was Scarlett
daughter.
Johansson.
I never knew. I saw that the other day, and I was like, I never really associated them two.
Neither. Even when, because I knew that, like, I've watched the movie after knowing that, and it doesn't even really sound like her to me.
No, yeah.
But King Neptune's bald, and they need his crown.
Plankton puts buckets on everyone's head.
Yeah.
And then SpongeBob comes back, and it's like a dystopian future, and everyone's saying, "All hail King Plankton."
And yeah, I love the ice cream scene. One of my favourite scenes in the movie. Waiter, 2 more, please.
The music video for I'm a Goofy Goober is incredible as well. The emotional speech given by SpongeBob leading up to it.
Yeah.
And then just, I'm a
Goofy Goober!
It's so good. It has everything you need in a movie.
Phenomenal. And speaking of kids' movies, we have Saw.
Yeah.
We have the first Saw. And I was not allowed to watch Saw for the longest time, and I didn't really want to, because all I'd heard about it was,
scary.
Torture, people getting, like, fucking mutilated. And then I watched the first Saw, and it's not like... The first one, anyway, is not like that at all. It's really just a thriller with these 2 guys trapped in a bathroom. They have no idea how they got there, and they're trying to escape, and there's flashbacks of shit they've done, like, wrong in their life that have led them to be in there. And, yeah... the first one's really good. Like, a lot of people probably just haven't seen it because they're like, oh, it's Saw, it's just torture.
Yeah.
Which is why I hadn't seen it for such a long time. And then watching the first one, I was so surprised about how good it was. Directed by James Wan, who went on to do The Conjuring, Insidious, and Aquaman, actually. So he's obviously like one of the best horror directors of the 2000s, and Saw. I actually really love the first Saw. One of my favorite horror movies.
One of the most iconic scenes, obviously, being the foot cut off.
Yeah, see that because when I saw it, I was kind of waiting because this movie is not really that violent. As like the sequels show everything, like people getting sawed up and shit, but this has a lot of violence off screen. Yeah. So like it isn't showing it, but it'll show like someone's face or something. So I remember watching it and being like waiting for the violence to come. I was like, oh, it must be him cutting off his foot. That's like the nastiest scene. But again, it doesn't even really show you it.
Yeah.
And I actually like that better when it comes to horror movies when it doesn't show you shit because. You know, you don't need to see all the gruesome shit.
No, as long as it's...
But then the sequels were like, oh, people like this because it was a torture movie, even though this isn't really. And then they just became so stupid with like 10 million sequels. But the first Saw, really love it.
Yeah.
Speaking of...
psychological thrillers. Dodgeball,
a great comedy.
Vince Vaughn,
Ben Stiller. I love them so in every movie they're in. Even though they're... I mean, Vince Vaughn's pretty much the same in every movie, but I love him.
The white Will Smith.
And Ben Stiller in this movie like owns a gym.
His character is so good.
Yeah, and he pumps up his dick every 5 seconds to make it look massive and everything. Really funny movie. They basically, Vince Vaughn and his group of goons have to win a dodgeball competition.
Gym's going out of business, so they have to pay like $50,000. They have to win a dodgeball tournament. And
Chuck Norris gives them the thumbs up at the end. Yeah. And I love the scene in like the credits where Ben Stiller becomes like massively obese and, you know, my milkshake's bring the boy. That was, especially when I was younger, I thought that was the funniest thing ever. And Dodgeball, just a really good comedy. Yeah,
it's honestly, I'm going to say it's going to become my catchphrase, but it's one of my favourite comedies.
Yeah, same for me. I've watched it a lot. I've watched it so many times.
Has the underdog, it's called Dodgeball and Underdog Story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it literally has like the underdog part to it. I just think it's real good. Great cast as well, like we mentioned.
Yeah, all around. Justin Long is like the nerd who gets fucked up. And...
just like, this memorable scenes as well, like when the freaking... they're at the casino and the statue falls on the old guy.
Isn't it?
In the wheelchair.
Is it a statue? It's like a big...
sign or something like
something, that. Yeah. Like, it's just like the randomest thing, eh? Like, they're just talking and like, he just dies. Yeah.
And then if you can dodge a spanner, you can dodge a dodgeball.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie. Another childhood-based movie. A lot of the movies on my list are childhood.
Because, like, when you think about it, like, who would make a movie about a dodgeball tournament as a comedy? But they make it work. Yeah. And just, go around.
What else have you got?
Speaking of Red Bulls, we have Hellboy next, who is a
one.
demon from hell. And
this was obviously the good Hellboy.
Yeah, I love Hellboy. I love every movie that I'm talking about pretty much. But Hellboy was a movie that I grew up with watching like all the time. What can I say? Superhero movie. I don't think it's Marvel or DC. It's just it is based on a comic, I think, but it's not from either of them. We got Ron Perlman as Hellboy, who I think is just phenomenal. All the practical designs, everything like that. I love it. I really love it. A real entertaining movie. Not more I can say. I mean, there probably is, but that's it. It's good. Yeah,
I mean, as a kid, it was, you were
It's kind of scary actually, but like as a kid, it's like just on the level where you can still like not be traumatized by it, but it's good.
And because because it's kind of like a superhero movie.
Yeah, it's cool. Hellboy's got a massive gun and
a massive hand.
A massive something else probably as well.
You know what they say.
I love his hand. And there was this Hellboy game on Xbox 360. So I can't remember what it's called, but me and my brother used to always play this Hellboy game, and we loved Hellboy a lot. Yeah.
Well, speaking of big things and things that work 50% of the time, all the time, Anchorman.
One of the
2004.
one of the best casts, I think, in a movie.
They just gel so well together.
Yeah. So we got Will Ferrell, which when did he finish? Was he on SNL still during this?
I think he was. He might have just been finishing up.
So we got Will Ferrell, Steve Carell, Paul Rudd,
and the cowboy that nobody ever knows.
He's in The Office though.
Yeah, Packard.
Yeah. Fuck, such a good cast. So. Such a quotable movie.
Is it Applegate?
Christina Applegate. Yeah.
As well.
I haven't seen this for quite a while though, but I
saw it not long ago. It's just such a good
movie. And because I kind of get a bit confused between this and
Anchorman 2.
Yeah, because they're like similar. They have real similar scenes, like the big fights at the end.
Yeah,
like, I can't really.
There's so like the cast in that.
There's just like
insane.
The best cameos. Like I can't remember who's in either one, but I remember there's like Ben Stiller,
Will Smith,
Liam
Jim
Neeson,
Carrey,
Jim Carrey,
like that.
yeah,
John C. Reilly,
Vince Vaughn, I think as well.
Yeah,
it's just awesome. It's just a real fun movie to watch, and
this is probably my favorite comedy of all time. Forget.
Like
Dodgeball.
I said, I haven't watched it a
Dodgeball.
lot. Like I've probably only watched Anchorman and because I saw the second one first and then the first one, but I think I might have I swear a lot of people have probably watched the first one a million times, but I think I've only seen it once or twice. But I remember loving it a lot though. It's one of those movies like I'll rewatch like scenes of it on YouTube, but not the whole movie.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that's not a discredit to the movie. That's just me.
I think I'll definitely have to go back and watch this movie later.
Yeah.
Have you got any other movies for us? Got a few more.
Speaking of movies that are in America, we have Team America, made by the creators of South Park, and it is like
Thunderbird.
If you've ever seen Thunderbirds with like puppets on strings, you know, that kind of thing. This is like a parody of that, and this might be my favourite. Oh my god.
I haven't seen this movie in a while.
Neither, but I just remember so much shit about it that it's just the biggest piss take and it's so funny. Because obviously with Thunderbirds they try to make it like realistic with like the puppets and shit. Team America, they're just like, they'll have like the puppets fighting against each other and it just looks so dumb. They're just like fucking like not even able to move. I don't know. It's hard to explain it, but it's fucking hilarious. And isn't there the song "Everybody Has AIDS"? Shit, like there's so much funny shit in this movie that I can't remember all of it because I need to rewatch all these movies. And I remember the sex scene between the fucking puppets and he's like shitting on her and everything, and it's just it's insane. But you know, it's dumb. Like South Park I love, and it's just like a lot of like, would you call it just inappropriate comedy?
Yeah, just dumb humour.
But like
vulgar humour.
That always is like surrounding a deeper theme. So this is about like
America.
And Kim Jong-il with those nuclear bombs and shit. So it's not just like, there's always like a theme and a moral to the story when there's South Park, like in amongst all the humour. And we have Matt Damon as well.
Yeah.
Wow. That is massive from this movie. And yeah, I love Team America. Love it.
Another movie that I love is Scooby-Doo 2.
Scooby-Doo 2, I love both the Scooby-Doos.
Yep.
Equally, I don't have a preference,
Yeah,
I don't think.
I could probably, if I was going to watch either of them, I'd probably just watch them back to back.
Yeah, same with me. Like, I can never choose one over the other, really. But we'll talk about Scooby-Doo 2.
Because that's what came out in 2002.
I think this movie's perfectly cast. Like, this and the second one.
Freddie Prinze.
Yeah, Freddie Prinze is a god.
Scooby-Doo obviously plays himself real well in this movie.
Oh, fuck.
The Shaggy memes.
Which
was really weird for us, because we literally just started joking about it one day. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, all these Shaggy memes came out of nowhere.
Where did it even come? Like, why were we joking about Shaggy though?
I don't even know.
Yeah, but
I think we watched it on Netflix or something.
Maybe. We basically started just making jokes about Shaggy, and then the Shaggy meme started right after that, and it was so weird. We were like, wait, what is happening?
Yeah. This movie, obviously, Jonathan Jacobo.
Yeah.
They have a museum exhibit, and then
so long, suckers.
all the
Help
monsters,
me, sucker.
all the monsters come back to life, and then they do the flamethrower with the fart. They play frisbee with the disc.
When they're drinking, it's like Shrek 2. They're drinking all the potions and like they're turning into different things.
Scooby turns into Einstein.
Shaggy turns into a woman and then becomes all buff.
And then comes the Rock.
Yeah. This movie,
and then off, bloody old mate, jousting.
Yeah, on the
bikes.
It's just perfect for a kids movie, I think. Yeah.
There's not much else to really say apart from that it is like just such an ideal movie for a kid. Like, you know, some of the monsters for a young kid might be a bit scary, but I feel like their demise at the end just kind of takes it all back. Kind of like Hellboy. Like, you know, it's a bit scary, but then the fact that he's a superhero kind of brings it back a wee bit.
I think Scooby-Doo in general is a lot like that because there's obviously monsters and shit and everything.
Yeah,
but
and the bloody skeletons.
Yeah, it's good, like, physical comedy, I guess you'd call it, even though it's CG. Like, they're just...
Yeah, the monster literally just looks like a Down syndrome guy.
Anything else?
No, not really.
No.
You're going to have to talk about this next movie, because I've actually never seen it.
Okay. I have about 10 favourite comedies on this list. And this next one is another one! I'm sorry. I'm like, maybe I'm just crediting myself as someone who talks about movies by just calling every movie my favourite, but this year, man. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle is... I can't say it's my favourite because I've already said that so many times.
You can say it's your favourite. Okay. It's nothing wrong.
Every movie on this movie...
It's my favourite.
Yeah, it's my favourite movie. So Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle was basically... There's these two stoners. One's like an Indian... like, loser. I guess you'd call it. Like, he's got potential. Like, he knows he's supposed to be going to medical school and he's like real smart. His dad's a doctor and shit like that, but he can't be fucked pretty much. And... is just smoking weed all day and shit. And then his friend Harold is an Asian working in an office. He's like an accountant or something. But yeah, they're big stoners. And the whole movie is about them trying to get to White Castle to get the perfect meal, as they'd call it. And it's so funny. So much random shit happens along the way. Where do I start? We got Neil Patrick Harris. This was like one of the first movies he really was in as an adult.
Came to prominence.
He plays himself and they're like, oh, you Neil Patrick Harris from Doogie Howser and shit like that. And then we got Ryan Reynolds makes a cameo as like this surgeon or something, and he's got some funny ass lines. Oh, I don't want to like give them away if you want to watch Harold and Kumar, but it's so funny. Yeah, they're just trying to get to White Castle to get some burgers, and that's the whole movie. Oh, one of the best side characters ever in a movie is Freak Show. He's basically their car runs out of battery or something, or gets a flat tire, and then this guy comes and picks them up, and he's like this redneck, but he looks like fucking... He's got like all these like boils and shit, and like this long falling out hair. And it's so funny. He's like, he takes them back to his house and he's like, oh, you can do what you want, you can watch TV, you can fuck my wife, just don't do anything the good Lord wouldn't do. And it's this movie, I love it so much.
Haven't seen it, might have to go watch it.
Yeah,
but I know about it, but I've never really taken my fancy, and I've never been like, oh, I'd better go watch Harold and Kumar.
It's kind of like a lot of other movies that came out around this time, but it just stands out to me. And yeah,
one movie that I did take the time out of my day to go watch was Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay, I've never seen Napoleon Dynamite.
Haven't?
No, a lot of people, I think, I don't really know, but a lot of people seem to like this movie, and I've just seen like clips and just think it looks fucking dumb. Like,
I like Napoleon Dynamite. Basically a movie about Napoleon who goes and stays with his uncle and his cousin, and then, you know, his friend Pedro goes for like president. I actually dressed up as Napoleon Dynamite for a book at school once, even though it's not a book at all. I'll try and find a photo, but I don't actually know if I have one because it was quite a shit costume, but I made a shirt and everything. I just think it's a good comedy. There's just like it's really awkward, kind of loner type humour.
Yeah. I mean,
quite relatable for some people.
I don't like to. Yeah. If you like Joker, I guess you'll like this movie.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same movie. I don't like to judge movies before I've seen them, but this one, I don't know, just like
doesn't really appeal.
Napoleon Dynamite is like, just I couldn't watch him. He's just like,
yeah, it is very. It's kind of like a dull movie, but I just feel like that's the character.
Maybe I'll have to watch it though.
It's quite good. But yeah, I would recommend it.
Would you call Napoleon Dynamite a national treasure?
No.
Well, we have a movie called National Treasure. I don't know. Have you ever seen this?
Does it have Nick Cage in it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say you would have seen it. I watched this a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
It's a movie that's like always on TV, so
yeah.
I guarantee you would have seen it even if you can't remember it. I probably haven't watched it for like 5 years or something like that. It's kind of just like a... I'd put it in a category with like The Mummy, you know?
Yeah, like an adventure movie.
Yeah. And so he's basically... I can't even remember. He's trying to steal the Declaration of Independence.
That sounds about right.
I don't remember why. But it's a real fun movie. Nicolas Cage, you know, say what you want about him, but, you know, in the right movie, he's great. And this movie's... it's really entertaining, I think. Just... That's all. We've got Sean Bean in the movie, and spoiler alert, he doesn't actually die.
No, I don't believe it.
Well, you have to see for yourself.
Would you say that this movie is Incredibles?
I'd say
The Incredibles is incredible.
Yeah,
because that came out in 2004.
The Incredibles,
the best superhero movie of all time.
I mean, that could easily be.
It's definitely.
This is my favourite Pixar movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Toy Story is phenomenal, but I love The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Incredibles is just...
To be fair, I'd rather go have a cry watching Toy Story 3 than go watch The Incredibles. The Incredibles 2 just didn't really hold up.
Incredibles 2 is like a Marvel movie.
It wasn't bad.
It's a Marvel movie to me.
Yeah,
it's
it wasn't...
Like
I just think after all the hype and everything...
I just think it's fine. Like, it's not bad, I just think it's fine.
They left us on such a cliffhanger with the Underminer.
And then there was nothing
and then he literally... Like, he was dead in the first 5 seconds.
It's like... They waited too long, so they were like, we need to have more of a socially relevant villain, so we'll have it surrounding TV.
The people that watched the movie back in the day were too old to go and watch it. Like, they didn't have kids, so they couldn't take them to go watch it. But no, The Incredibles is a good movie. The first one is a great movie.
Great movie. So basically, superheroes have been outlawed because, like, they're seen as causing too much destruction and they're not needed or whatever. And Syndrome is the villain. He's a great villain.
Buddy. Great backstory as well.
I think in the Honest trailer or something they were talking about like how accurate this could be as a villain, like someone who he's basically like a troll, like he's like an internet troll like these days. I think you'd find like
kinda like Mysterio.
Yeah, actually. So Mr. Incredible basically doesn't accept him as his like teammate sidekick. So he it's dumb though, because he's like 5 years old and he's designed rocket boots.
Yeah, but I just think like
I'm not saying that's dumb, but I'm saying like Mr. Incredible, why are you not like this kid? Like
it's clearly smart, yeah. Almost cost him his life though.
Yeah, so then
he distracts him when the bloody French bomber.
Bon voyage.
Yeah.
And we've got another train scene like in Spider-Man 4. I guess that was
Joey Diaz in this
Spider-Man 4 2. And yeah, so Syndrome basically takes revenge by building his own organisation.
Robots.
And I just love all the shit that happens on the volcano, Like, that's awesome. That is, like, my memories from as a child. When Mr. Incredible has to go and fight the robot on the volcano, that shit's fucking cool.
And he breaks his back trying to do it.
On my back! Yeah. Old man.
And then he almost has an affair with the chick.
He doesn't. Like,
he does. There's so much sexual tension there.
But he doesn't.
It's not.
He's a loyal man.
No, he's not. We know about you,
Bob. Edna,
Lockcaps.
The designer of the costumes is phenomenal. It's better to withstand over 40,000 degrees, or whatever it is.
Obviously, setting up for Jack being like the most powerful superhero of all time in the second movie.
If he ever becomes older, then that's just ridiculous. He's just gonna. There'll be no movie. He'll solve the crimes
take
in
over
5
the world.
seconds.
But no, the kids are good as well. Violet, Dash.
Yeah, I always loved Dash when I was a kid.
Like the scene where he like puts the pin on his teacher's chair, and the teacher's like, "There, see,
Yeah.
he did it."
You didn't see it? He moves right there.
Is it just a good movie?
Coincidence? I think not. Yeah, Incredibles, phenomenal. We've just talked about so many good movies in this so far. And I'm going to talk about one that's not good, finally. I don't think you would have ever seen this.
No.
I hadn't, actually, until a few days ago. I just thought I had to watch this movie because we're doing this list. I'm talking about The Village with M. Night Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan movie. We've talked about him in a few lists, and I've mentioned that he started off good, and then his career went boom down, and this was the beginning of that. So before this was coming out, it was so highly anticipated because he'd made so many great movies that were popular, and then you can only go up from there, and this was marketed as a horror movie. You probably you'll know, I think, of it once I explain what it's about. So they're pretty much living in this village, and it's set up it's the 1800s or something like that, in the olden days. But spoiler alert for the end of the movie, they're actually in modern times, and at the end of the movie, she gets out and realizes that it's modern day.
I think it does sound familiar.
But what keeps them in the village is that they have these monsters in the forest, because the village is in the middle of this massive forest.
Yeah.
And there's apparently monsters in the forest, but in reality, spoiler for because there's two twists in this movie. The monsters are actually just the old people in the village dressing up to keep people, so they keep everyone in the village,
keep tradition alive.
But so you'd think it's a horror movie based on that, but it's actually not. It's actually a romance movie. It actually has Joaquin Phoenix in it. He's see, no one in this movie is really set up as the main character, because he's in it, and the
main character is the village rather than
you think Joaquin Phoenix is going to be the main character, and then he gets stabbed and is basically out of. He's not dead, but he's on his deathbed pretty much. And his the chick that likes him is Bryce Dallas Howard, who is in Jurassic World, and basically her dad kind of runs the whole village thing, and he says the only way you can save him is if you get out of the village and you get medicine from outside to bring back in. Is the only way you can save him. So half of the movie is I don't think it is able to balance the romance, because there are kind of horror elements with the monsters in the forest as well, which aren't actually monsters, but I can't balance those two tones of being a romance and
horror.
I should have either focused on one or the other.
Yeah.
There's not, so that doesn't really make it work. And then the way that the twists are revealed, it's really dumb, because before Bryce Dallas Howard goes in the forest to escape, her dad basically tells her, he's oh, the monsters aren't real, they're just people dressed up.
Yeah.
So when she gets into the forest, it's still
portrayed as a horror.
It's still made to be scary, but you're it's only a person, so why should I be scared right now? And I just don't know why they felt they should reveal. Why would you reveal that why couldn't you just have it she goes in and then fights a monster or something, and then it's just revealed as a person there? That would have been such a good reveal, but then for some reason he's just oh no, by the way, the monsters in there are just people. They're just people dressed up.
It just comes out of nowhere.
And it's so dumb. You're oh. So it just removes any tension that there could have been when she's actually in there against the monsters and shit.
Yeah.
And just didn't work really at all. A lot of people defend this movie though, because when it came out, everyone was oh, this is shit, because they all thought it was going to be a horror, and it isn't really.
Yeah.
And so it was a disappointment for a lot of people, but a lot of people have defended this now, saying it's underrated. I personally don't. I wouldn't watch this again. I don't really like it at all. But yeah, that's just me.
Speaking of romances, we've actually been going for a while. So I'll kind of just rattle a few off quickly, just to let you know of a few that came out this year. Shark Tale, obviously great animated movie.
Have Have you rewatched Shark Tale?
No.
Like, I haven't watched Shark Tale in ages, but I watched this video on YouTube saying that Shark Tale's not a good movie, and after watching it, it's not really good.
It's not a good movie?
A lot of the animation in it is fucking
Doesn't hold
WWE 2K20. Like,
Yeah.
it's so bad. But
Shaun of the Dead came out as well.
Shaun of the Dead, one of the best comedies, so funny zombie movie.
Simon
Edgar
Pegg.
Wright. Yeah, Simon Pegg. Fucking real good. Zombie movies only work, in my opinion, if they're a comedy. Like, if they're horror, they're always just dumb. Like, comedy's good.
50 First Dates.
Never seen it.
Basically,
Adam Sandler, isn't it?
Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore has, I think she has an accident or amnesia or something like that. And then Adam Sandler falls in love with her one night, and then she wakes up and she can't remember him. And then they fall in love, kind of. And they live on a boat with her dad. And every day she wakes up, she has to watch a movie about her life.
To remember.
Yeah.
So that's why it's 50 first dates.
Yeah, even though they probably have like 15,000 first dates. Because every day that they're together will be a first date. Have you got any notable mentions?
Is that all on your list?
Oh no, sorry, The Notebook.
Never seen it just because it's too overhyped for me.
It's just a romance movie.
I
I don't even think it's the best.
I love Ryan Gosling though.
Yeah.
Like now. Like, I didn't know who he was, obviously. I was like 4 when this came out. But,
Yeah.
it's too overhyped. Like, I don't know. I just don't know if I can watch it and like it.
I didn't hate it, but it's not my... there's other romance movies
I already know what happens
watch
as
over
well,
it.
so I just...
Yeah, I mean, they kiss in the rain.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is that it?
That's it on my list.
So I've got a few... I won't go too... on. Yeah. So I've got Collateral, which I've seen parts of before and really enjoyed. I started watching it on Netflix, but I didn't finish it. Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx just have great chemistry together. Tom Cruise is kind of like a hitman, and Jamie Foxx is a taxi driver, so Taxi. Real good
Jimmy
movie
Fallon.
though. I got the Bourne Supremacy, the second Bourne movie with Matt Damon. I've only seen this one once. I've seen the first one the most, and I've seen the second and third one time, but I remember liking all of them.
Yeah, it's a good franchise.
Alien vs Predator, not a very good movie, but it's fine. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say about it.
Yeah.
Kill Bill 2, Quentin Tarantino. I've watched the first one like a million times,
Yeah.
and I had never watched the second one until
Neither.
like last week.
I still haven't seen the second one.
I watched it just to talk about it because I'll be dumb if I can only talk about the first one and not the second one, which came out in 2004. I actually I don't know, I think I would have to watch them back to back maybe, but I liked the second one a bit more. But I can't really... I haven't seen the first one in a while though, but
Yeah.
I really liked the second one. It's real like just over the top, like the action in the movie is just like so over stylized, like old like kung fu movies and shit like that with like the sound
That's where he
effects
takes a lot
and
of his
everything.
inspiration from and stuff
And it's
like
just
that.
over the top violence and everything you'd come to expect from his movies as well. And yeah, just real fun movie I find. And then we had a few superhero movies coming out in 2004 that were just utter trash. The Punisher, Blade Trinity, and Catwoman, like fucking hell. I mean, we had Spider-Man 2 and The Incredibles, and then just fuck the rest.
Just dog shit.
Oh my god, I like Catwoman especially. When I was a kid, for some reason, I liked watching Catwoman, and Halle Berry's in it, and fuck, it's terrible. In my opinion, the worst. I'd rather watch Batman and Robin a million times than Catwoman.
I enjoy Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin is an enjoyable movie,
But it's not a good movie.
even though it's just like so dumb.
Yeah.
But Catwoman is just fucking
Just
terrible.
trash.
Blade Trinity, I love the first two. The third one's it's just a bit shit.
Kinda
And
like
the
Shrek.
Punisher is like, it's not terrible, but it's kind of just like,
Do you reckon it would perform better in modern day?
I don't know.
In today's superhero enthused
I don't know. Like, I don't know if you'll get what I mean by this, but it just feels like an early 2000s. Like, because there was a lot of good ones, like the Spider-Man, X-Men and shit. But then there was like Fantastic Four, like kind of like that.
Yeah, I get
like,
what you're saying.
And Daredevil and shit. Like it was one of those. But yeah, we got Mean Girls, Lindsay Lohan,
Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah,
Good movie.
Lohan. A bit dead
Yeah.
now.
I enjoy this
kind
movie.
of killed herself, but Mean Girls is actually, I like it a lot.
Reese Witherspoon as well.
No, I think you're thinking of Legally Blonde, aren't you? I don't think is she?
I think so.
I don't know. I haven't. It's on Netflix. I might have to watch it again. Like, I'll be watching 50 movies tonight, apparently.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
I feel like Drew Barrymore, 50 First Dates. I can't remember.
Google this. Google it right now.
Okay, we'll look it up.
Give me the list, and I'll keep reading over the list. I'll talk about Mean Girls quickly first.
Yeah.
But yeah, so pretty much Lindsay Lohan is a ginger South African. Her parents go away.
She's South African? I don't remember that.
Well, she moves over from Africa.
What am I
maybe
searching
not
up?
Mean Girls cast. And so basically, she tries to become popular. She hangs out with one fat gay kid. And
Tina Fey is actually...
Yeah.
Amy Poehler as well.
And then, she gives... I swear it is Reese Witherspoon, maybe not.
Are you talking about the main chick?
Yeah.
It's Rachel McAdams.
It is.
Who was in The Notebook as well, that same year.
Yeah.
So
two blondes and I'm getting confused.
Lindsay Lohan looks fucking terrible now. If you don't know, she's a bit of a druggie and just... Yeah.
I suppose they're both blondes.
And you must have seen Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, I love that
It's a good movie. Disney Channel original.
Yeah. But Mean Girl's good.
Yeah. What else have we got?
Oh, The Machinist. Let's just talk about Christian Bale. Lost about 58,000 kgs in this movie. Looked like a skeleton.
Literally looked like Louise Penner.
Such a good actor, eh?
Who?
Christian Bale.
Louise
Yeah,
Penner.
such a good actor pretending like he's won a fight, even though he did. Let's just not talk about that though. Christian Bale is just one of the best actors, eh?
He's so dynamic.
He commits to every role 100%. The Machinist, he's literally, he's a skeleton. I've never actually seen this movie. I've just seen like the fucking pictures. And it's fucking, it's gnarly. It's gnarly, but committed to his craft. We've got Troy, which is Brad Pitt as... I don't remember.
It's Troy.
I watched this in school, when you've got to watch like Gladiator and all that shit.
I just know that he's a beast and then he dies.
Does he?
I think so.
Probably. But it's like what do they call it? Like a
Trojan.
Sword and Sandals movie? Is that what they call them?
Probably.
One of those. That was in Greece. Ocean's 12, sequel to Ocean's 11. I've only seen Ocean's 11 because the only one I heard was good. But main cast, George Clooney, Brad Pitt again, Matt Damon again. Some actors just have mean years, eh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've only seen the first one. Heist movies. Love the first one. Haven't seen the other ones. Chronicles of Riddick. Vin Diesel portrays Riddick. He's like a mass murderer, escaped convict.
Vin Diesel, greatest actor of all time.
The first one's Pitch Black, a movie I really like. The second one I saw once and didn't like and never saw it again. The Aviator, Leonardo DiCaprio. Howard Hughes? Is that the guy? I don't know. Martin Scorsese directed it. This was when they were having like all the collaborations, which made Leonardo DiCaprio, because he started off as like a heartthrob, I guess you'd call him.
Yeah, definitely.
And then became like more of a serious. Like now, he's one of the best actors ever.
Yeah.
The last one I've got is $1 Million Baby, which is a Clint Eastwood movie. This won like all the Oscars this year. It's a boxing movie. You might have seen. Have you seen it?
I think I've seen parts of it.
Same.
Like
everyone
TV
says the ending's like the saddest thing ever, because
I've never seen.
I first heard about it. Like I didn't know that this was what it was from. But in one of the Scary Movie, like the movie Scary Movie, like one of those, it does like the parody of it where, because this is a boxing movie, and at the end she like falls and breaks her neck on a stool that he leaves in the room. Yeah. And then like he has to like put her down at the end pretty much because she's like dead. She's like paraplegic. And then that's how I knew about this movie. One
of my favourite comedies of all time.
Yeah. Along with Schindler's List. Morgan Freeman won his first Oscar for this movie. Let's go, Nelson. But
obviously,
I think I might have to watch it.
Did he not win one for The Matrix?
No, but he won one for Pulp Fiction.
Good on him. And Star Wars.
Kind of inside jokes, kind of.
Not even, just all black people look alike.
So 2004 overall. I'm pretty sure there was a lot more movies we could have put on, but this has been going
on for like 50 minutes.
2004 deserves it. I think. The movie,
the emotional connection we have to a lot of these movies is the reason we're talking about it for so long.
Yeah, some of my favourite movies. I mean, we're talking every year that we're talking about the best movies. So obviously, they're going to be some of our favourites. So,
and there's a reason we've picked them, because they are some of the best years in movie history.
But 2004 for me, I'd think, because 1994 is a lot of
good movies.
but
like,
2004 is like it's a lot more diverse, I think.
Yeah.
There's like good kids movies like Incredibles and Shrek, even Harry Potter,
adult comedies,
and then adult comedies,
superhero movies.
It's got some of everything.
Horror.
Yeah. 2004, love it.
Good year in general. Anything else you want to add?
No. Oh, Jimmy Fallon.
It's just the greatest person of all time.
Yeah, we just have to.
I wonder what Brian Callen was up to in 2004.
Yeah. What about Joe Rogan? When
Joe
did he start
Rogan?
commentating UFC?
Oh, like in the 90s? He would have been on Fear
fuck.
Factor. He would have been on Fear Factor at this point.
Yeah, so he was doing that at the same time as UFC.
I think so, yeah.
Because I obviously watched Fear Factor before I watched UFC.
Yeah, me too.
But
I never put Joe Rogan together with the UFC.
Joe Rogan would have had hair at this time.
Yeah. He started
And-
losing it, like,
2011?
something like that.
But yeah, now he's bald. Now he's a fucking testicle.
Yeah.
Along with Dana White.
Dana White.
If you work for the UFC, you have to be bald. John
Yeah.
Anik as well.
Except for Bruce Buffer, who just has
Who
the
was
most
the-
luscious...
Who's the other bald guy that does commentating sometimes?
Daniel Cormier?
Yeah, no. There's like another. He's not a black guy. He's white.
I mean...
Do you know? You don't know. I don't know. I don't know who it is.
I'm trying to think, but I can't think of anyone.
I don't know. He's just some random guy. Anyway, that concludes 2004. Love this year. I mean, I love...
Every
No,
year.
this is definitely my favourite, actually. I said 94, but I didn't look at 2004 then.
Yeah, that's
For
true.
me, personally, like, 94 may be the best year, like, quality-wise, but
2004.
2004 for me, I just love all these movies.
Yeah. What do we got covered? We got 2008 coming out next.
2008, we've already recorded and I've already edited, and it's just
It's
been...
already ready to upload.
It's been sitting there, but I can't do shit out of order, so we had to do 2004. Yeah.
Perfect.
So expect them. I won't post them on the same day. Maybe
No.
like day after each other
Yeah.
or something. Once I edit this,
We're
which
good.
is 53 minutes.
Sounds
I mean,
good.
no, I don't really have to edit this much, but
No. Anyway, I've been Kleis.
And Callen.
And we'll see you in 2008.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out.